मेघगम्भीर घोषैः यज्ञध्वानध्वनितगगनैः ब्राह्मणैर्ज्ञातवेदैः.
You may start now.
Swadesha Mantra. O India, with this mere echoing of others, with this base imitation of others, with this dependence on others, this lavish weakness, this wild detestable cruelty, wouldst thou with these provisions only scale the highest pinnacle of civilization and greatness? Wouldst thou attain by means of thy disgraceful cowardice that freedom deserved only by the brave and the heroic? O India, forget not that the ideal of thy womanhood is Sita, Savitri, Damayanti. Forget not that the god thou worshippest is the great ascetic of ascetics, the all-renouncing Shankara, the lord of Uma. Forget not that thy marriage, thy wealth, thy life are not for sense pleasures, are not for thy individual happiness. Forget not that thou art born as a sacrifice to the mother's altar. Forget not that thy social order is but the reflex of the infinite motherhood. Forget not that the lower classes, the ignorant, the poor, the illiterate, the cobbler, the sweeper are thy flesh and blood, thy brothers. Thou brave one, be bold, take courage, Be proud that thou art an Indian, and proudly proclaim, I am an Indian. Every Indian is my brother. Say, the ignorant Indian, the poor and destitute Indian, the Brahmin Indian, the Paraya Indian is my brother. Thou too, clad with but a rag round thy loins, proudly proclaim at the top of thy voice, the Indian is my brother. The Indian is my life. India's gods and goddesses are my God. India's society is the cradle of my infancy, the pleasure garden of my youth, the sacred heaven, the Varanasi of my old age. Say, brother, the soil of India is my highest heaven. The good of India is my good. And repeat and pray day and night. O thou Lord of Gauri, O thou Mother of the universe, vouchsafe manliness unto me. O thou Mother of strength, take away my weakness, take away my unmanliness, and make me a man.
Today we will read a message from Lectures from Colombo to Almora. It is the first public lecture in the East after returning from the West Swamiji has delivered. It was in January 1897. I will not read from the beginning, I will read in between of the lecture. Here it goes. Thus, in the past, we read in history that whenever there arose a great conquering nation, uniting the different races of the world, binding India with the other races, taking her out, as it were, from her loneliness and from her aloofness from the rest of the world, into which she again and again cast herself, that whenever such a state has been brought about, the result has been flooding of the world with Indian spiritual ideas. At the beginning of this century, Schopenhauer, the great German philosopher, studying from a not very clear translation of the Vedas, made from an old translation into Persian, and thence by a young Frenchman into Latin, says, quote, in the whole world, there is no study so beneficial and so elevating as that of the Upanishads. It has been the solace of my life. It will be the solace of my death. Unquote. This great German sage foretold that, quote, the world is about to see a revolution in thought more extensive and more powerful than that which was witnessed by the Renaissance of Greek literature, unquote. And today, his predictions are coming to pass. Those who keep their eyes open, those who understand the working in the minds of different nations of the West, those who are thinkers and study the different nations, will find the immense change that has been produced in the tone, the procedure, in the methods, and in the literature of the world by this slow, never ceasing permeation of Indian thought. But there is another peculiarity, as I have already hinted to you. We never preached our thoughts with fire and sword. If there is one word in the English language to represent the gift of India to the world, if there is one word in the English language to express the effect which the literature of India produces upon mankind, it is this one word, fascination. It is the opposite of anything that takes you suddenly. It throws on you, as it were, a charm imperceptibly. To many, Indian thought, Indian manners, Indian customs, Indian philosophy, Indian literature are repulsive at the first sight, but let them persevere, let them read, let them become familiar with the great principles underlying these ideas. And it is 99 to 1 that the charm will come over them, and fascination will be the result, slow and silent, as the gentle dew that falls in the morning, unseen and unheard, yet producing a most tremendous result, has been the work of the calm, patient, all-suffering spiritual race upon the word of thought. Once more, history is going to repeat itself, for today, under the blasting light of modern science, when old and apparently strong and invulnerable beliefs have been sorted to their very foundation, when special claims led to the allegiance of mankind by different sects have been all blown into atoms and have vanished into air, when the sledgehammer blows of modern antiquarian researchers are pulverizing like masses of porcelain all sorts of antiquated orthodoxies, when religion in the West is only in the hands of the ignorant and the knowing ones look down with scorn upon anything belonging to religion, here comes to the fore the philosophy of India, which displays the highest religious aspirations of the Indian mind, where the grandest philosophical facts have been the practical spirituality of the people. This naturally is coming to the rescue, the idea of the oneness of all, the infinite, the idea of the impersonal, the wonderful idea of the eternal soul of man, of the unbroken continuity in the march of beings and the infinity of the universe. The old sects looked upon the world as a little mud puddle and thought that time began but the other day. It was there in our old books and only there that the grand idea of infinite range of time, space, and causation, and above all, the infinite glory of the spirit of man governed all the search for religion. When the modern tremendous theories of evolution and conservation of energy and so forth are dealing death blows to all sorts of crude theologies, what can hold anymore the allegiance of cultured humanity? But the most wonderful, convincing, broadening, and ennobling ideas that can be found only in that most marvelous product of the soul of man, the wonderful voice of God, the Vedanta. At the same time, I must remark that what I mean by our religion working upon the nations outside of India comprises only the principles, the background, the foundation upon which that religion is built. The detailed working, the minute points which have been worked out through centuries of social necessity, little ratiocinations about manners and customs and social well-beings do not rightly find a place in the category of religion. We know that in our books a clear distinction is made between two sets of truths. The one set is that which abides forever, being built upon the nature of man, the nature of the soul's relation to God, the nature of God, perfection, and so on. There are also the principle of cosmology, of the infinitude of creation, or more correctly speaking, projection, the wonderful law of cyclical procession, and so on. These are the eternal principles founded upon the universal laws in nature. The other set comprises the minor laws which guided the working of our everyday life. They belong more properly to the Puranas, to the Sritis, not to the Shrutis. These have nothing to do with the other principles. Even in our own nation, these minor laws have been changing all the time. Customs of one age, of one yuga, have not been the customs of another, and as yuga comes after yuga, they will still have to change. Great rishis will appear and lead us to customs and manners that are suited to new environments. The great principle underlying all this wonderful, infinite, ennobling, expansive view of man and God and the world have been produced in India. In India alone, man has not stood up to fight for a little tribal god, saying, quote, "My God is true and yours is not true. Let us have a good fight over it." Unquote. It was only here that such ideas did not occur as fighting for little gods. These great underlying principles, being based upon the eternal nature of man, are as potent today, working for the good of the human race as they were thousands of years ago, and they will remain so long as this earth remains, so long as the law of karma remains, so long as we are born as individuals and have to work out our own destiny by our individual power. Here I conclude. Over to you, Jugalda. Unmute first. Unmute yourself.
Good evening and namaskar to everyone. I think our maximum limit of participation has crossed. It is showing 100 now. Then we have Maharaj and our another speaker, Swamiji cannot join. So I would request some of Mahamandalas to switch over to YouTube now so that our speakers can join. One or two brother volunteer, please. You have to switch over to YouTube. You will be able to see everything there. Okay, thank you. And no need more now. At first, I pay my homage to Thakur Sri Ramakrishna Dev, Mahasharada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. And I pay my respect to the senior brothers and sisters who have joined in this online session of our study circles. And my love to all. I think it is a day of days for us who love and try to follow Swami Vivekananda. This study circle, this online study circle, was started in the first week of January 2024 after the 55th All India Youth Training Camp of Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal. We felt the need that many of Mahamandal workers, Mahamandal brothers, spreading all over the India and all over the globe, they are detached from their mother unit or from their own place from where they used to participate in the study circles of Mahamandal. They are detached for job or any other for studies or any other purpose, and to unite them in a study circle, to exchange our views, to inspire ourselves with the life and message of Swami Vivekananda, we felt the need of an online study circle, All India online study circle. And so we started in this study circle on 12th January 2024. And from then on, this study circle is continuing on every Friday from 8:30 to 10 p.m., where we study the life of Swami Vivekananda and message of Swami Vivekananda and Mahamandal booklet to get the life-giving, inspiring message of Swami Vivekananda, which he gave for the young men of India for building their life and for the regeneration of India. And from then on, we are continuing. And today is the day of days for us, because in this study circle we have got more than 100 now, and we have parallel YouTube channel also. I think many of our brothers, and today we have also allowed our sisters, those who are associated with Sarada Nari Sangathan, a parallel organization for the women, and they are also participating in this study circle today for this special lecture. And I welcome all in this study circle in the special lecture session. We'll wait for Reverend Maharaj to join.
So, Acha, Jugal, just I'm requesting some 10 of our teachers to just leave Google Meet and please join just using that YouTube link. Okay. 10 teachers, please. So that 2 of our speakers can join easily. You please join using.
Also, for listening and for sharing opinion, I will request to join YouTube channel.
Yes. Could you connect with Maharaj? Jugal?
Yeah, I am sending a message to Maharaj.
Okay. Still, now it is 95. I think that if Maharaj and Sumita joins, then they can easily.
So whenever you can sing a song for this time, and when Maharaj will join, I'll introduce him.
Okay.
भजन करना चाहिए, प्रेम लगाना चाहिए मनवा, प्रीत करना चाहिए, साधन करना चाहिए, साधन करना चाहिए मुनियो, भजन करना चाहिए। जुगल
অন করো, যুগল অন করো।
I cannot connect Maharaj till now. I am trying, but I find that Samita has joined.
So once again, I'm requesting some more Mahamandal brothers and our teachers to leave Google Meet and join in YouTube. 10 more teachers at least. Teachers can do it. It's a great thing that all of you have joined in great numbers. It's really encouraging for us.
Maharaj is joining now, just now. Please hold for 1 or 2 minutes.
Medicine, Law and Society in the Fin de Siècle, The Man on Devil's Island, a biography on Alfred Dreyfus, for which she was awarded the Wolfson History Prize in 2010. And just this month, Guru to the World has been published by Harvard University Press. It traces Vivekananda's transformation from the son of a Calcutta-based attorney into a saffron-robed ascetic, and shows how at his appearance in the 1893 World Parliament of Religions in Chicago, he fascinated audiences with teachings from Hinduism, Western esoteric spirituality, physics, and the sciences of the mind, and in the process advocating a more inclusive conception of religion and expounding the evils of colonialism.
Respected Maharaj has joined. You can
Her
stop
book
the
is for
presentation.
sale on Amazon, Barnes.
I pay my regards and pranam to respected Swami Prasannatmananda ji, the Swami-in-Charge of Vedanta Society, Berkeley. Maharaj was the warden in the hostel of Ramakrishna Mission Vidya Mandira, Berkeley. Then he was in charge of Ramakrishna Mission Shiksha, Jana Shiksha Mandira, the Mass Education Center at Berkeley. And after that, Maharaj has joined, is now in charge of Vedanta Society, Berkeley. And Maharaj is now working with some great minds in this California, in the Bay region of USA. I had the chance to hear from him about the interest and about Swami Vivekananda in USA. Regarding Maharaj, I want to say Maharaj is a very ardent reader of Swami Vivekananda. In nearly 27 years back, I had the chance to stay under his wardenship, and then I found the pages of the volumes of the complete works of Swami Vivekananda are marked with underlines and footnotes. I had the chance to peep through the books which he personally read, and now Revered Maharaj is working with some great minds there. As if you find at the website of Vedanta Society in Berkeley, then we can really understand what he is doing there. And now we are waiting for Revered Maharaj to listen. I just like to say, Maharaj, that we are 100 in this YouTube, in this Google Meet, because its capacity is 100. And there is a YouTube link also. There are so many participants from all over India, from outside India also. Those who love Swami Vivekananda and they want to do something following his life and teachings. And I will just request respected Maharaj to deliver his speech on the relevance of Swami Vivekananda's thought in the world today. Respected Maharaj.
Am I audible?
Yes, Maharaj. You are.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Jugal, for my introduction. And it is my great pleasure to say you something, to share some of my thoughts on Swami Vivekananda with the brigadiers of Swami Vivekananda's brigade, because I know that you all are the leaders, those who are sharing Swami Vivekananda's thoughts to the people, to the students, to the youth of India. However, I have been in this country for about 15 years. So what is my thought about the relevance and the importance of Swami Vivekananda? I would like to share with you. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes, Maharaj, we can see, but
Okay, thank you.
it is
But
better if
something.
zoom it.
Shall I increase the screen?
Maharaj, may I make a request, Maharaj? Hello? Maharaj, am I audible?
Yes, please.
You are audible.
Actually, your face only can be seen half almost. So if you can fix the camera in such a manner so that the burst comes on the screen, that is nice.
Oh, I am not seen very well.
Yeah. Okay. And just for a kind
Is it all
information,
right?
almost more than 100 teachers
Now it is
from Ramakrishna Mission Jamshedpur, more than 100 teachers also are there with you.
Okay, so is it all right now?
Yeah, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you very much. So I am going to share my thoughts about the relevance of Swami Vivekananda's thoughts in this world. There are two kinds of problems. One is socio-economic problem and another is existential problem. So Swami Vivekananda saw that India is suffering from socio-economic problem, and we know that still India is suffering from socio-economic problem. But when Swami Vivekananda came in the United States, he found that United States is very solvent in economic perspective, but the United States is suffering from the existential problem. What is existential problem? Let me explain what is existential problem. But before going to that, Swami Vivekananda solved these two problems. He gave the solution of these two problems. But the solution is one. What was Swami Vivekananda's expertise was that he gave the solution of these two problems from the principle of Vedanta. His solution is the Vedantic principles. And Swami Vivekananda's expertise was that he explained the process of solution. That was Swami Vivekananda's expertise. From the basic concept of Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic principle, he actually gave us five or six points. If we go through the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, we can find that from the same Vedic principle, Swami Vivekananda gave few things are coming up from Swami Vivekananda's complete works, and those are love, courage, strength. Swami Vivekananda, you know that Swami Vivekananda said again and again about strength. So love, courage, strength. Swami Vivekananda said about freedom, then purity, knowledge, morality and ethics. These 7 perspectives come out from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. If you squeeze complete works of 9 volumes of complete works of Swami Vivekananda, I would say that these 7 drops will come out from Swami Vivekananda's complete works. In a letter in February 17, 1896, Swami Vivekananda wrote, the abstract Advaita must become living, poetic in everyday life. And out of bewildering yogoism must come the most scientific and practical psychology. And all this must be put into such a form that a child may grasp it. That is my life's work. So, the abstract Advaita principle Swami Vivekananda brought in the practical life, in day-to-day life. He brought the principles of Advaita from the forest, from the cave, to the cooking pot. And what is that? We know that the United States is very, very practical. So my personal experience is that the way I deliver talk in India, I don't give that kind of talk in the West. It is completely different type of talk here. So let us see what is the relevance of Swami Vivekananda in today's world. So Swami Vivekananda tried to solve the existential problem in the West because he found that the Western people are affluent, but they are poor in mental aspect, in psychological aspect. Swami Ranganathananda ji used to say that in the West, people take lots of tablets, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to take the digipum, to take the sleeping pill. But in India, the poor, the peaceful person, they don't have money, but they can sleep in the roadside in the summer noon under the scorching sun. So this kind of peaceful people live in India. However, let me say something about the existential problem. So still now that Swamiji pointed out the existential problem, so I actually pointed out 5 points. Those are the areas where Swami Vivekananda is relevant in this country. It is completely my idea, it is my conception, these 5 points. There may be other points also, but I have pointed out today to share you that these are the 5 areas where Swami Vivekananda's teachings is extremely relevant even today. So number one is the existential problem. Swami Vivekananda pointed out, still it persists today. So existential problem is it is a psychology actually. The existential psychology developed in 1860s. The father of existential psychology is Kierkegaard. Then afterwards, through different like Sartre and different psychologists, we found that this existential psychology has been propagated. As a psychology, existential psychology is not very successful, but the existential aspect of human being is extremely important. The existential aspect of human being means which shakes our very existence. So our very existence when suffered, that is called the existential aspect. Take the example of Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, Arjuna was suffering from existential problem. And when some deeper level conflict comes in front of us, at that time, existential problem arises. In Arjuna's case, we found that Arjuna was suffering from his duty in one hand, and on the other, his love, his affection, his attachment with his family, with his kinsmen, with his friends and families. So these two conflicts brought Arjuna in front of existential problem. So this kind of existential problem, we see here the stress. The difference between stress and existential problem is this. We are familiar with the problem of stress. We can understand the cause of our stress, which is called stressor. So when we remove this stressor, then our stress goes. But in the case of existential problem, we cannot find the cause of our existential problem. It is extremely difficult to find the cause of our existential problem. And the impact of existential problem is loneliness, meaninglessness, boredom, fear syndrome, depression, low self-esteem, dysfunctional family dynamics, inner emptiness, etc. These are the outcome of existential problem. And the physical outcome is acidity, migraine, kind of trauma, depression. These are the outcome. Fear syndrome. These are the outcome of existential problem. So Swami Vivekananda solved here. Swami Vivekananda found that these countries, the thousands of people, and still it is existing. You know, we have two centers. One is Berkeley, and the sub-center is in San Jose. San Jose is the heart of Silicon Valley. From our center, all the tech companies, all the tech corporate companies, big top tech companies, as for Google, Apple, then I would say NVIDIA, then Netflix, Facebook, all these companies are within 5 miles. So our center is the heart of the Silicon Valley, and almost all the employees of different companies, they used to come to our center. So we know that how much stress they have. They get lots of money, but anytime it is hire and fire policy, they actually maintain. So how much stress they are having. So still it is persisting. And now, what is the solution? This is the first important point where Swamiji is very relevant nowadays. Now, in this situation, everybody has some kind of self-image. Each individual has the self-image. And self-image is one's idea of one's own individuality. What I am thinking about myself. Image we know. And our self-image, how am I projecting myself in front of you? That is my self-image. And to the Westerners, this self-image is full of sin. Still now, the young people, the kids are taken to the church by their grandma or by their seniors, parents. Still now, the concept of sin is there. Swami Vivekananda talked a lot about sin. Swami Vivekananda said that who thinks the man is sinner, he is sinner. That is Swami Vivekananda said. So it is still now this concept of sin is there. So their self-image is like a born sinner. But on the other hand, the Vedantic principle said the man is the son of eternal bliss. Man is the Anandar Shantan. So man is the son of eternal bliss. So that concept of Vedanta, the potential divinity of human being, actually Swami Vivekananda said potential divinity of man. You know, in this country, there is extremely gender sensibility is there. So in our lecture, we cannot say man. If I utter the word man, then I have to say woman. So better to say human being. And now, you know, in this country, generally we see they. They is a plural, but is verb can go with they. Because, you know, now the gender sensation is almost gone here. So it is very difficult to say who is he, who is she. It is very difficult in this country. So that is why I would say human being. So the potential divinity of human being. So this impression Swamiji gave from the Vedanta that human beings are not sinner, but they are potentially divine. So they are the son of eternal bliss. Amritasya putraha, the son of eternal bliss. This kind of self-image we have to build. When people are projecting their self-image and that self-image is tainted by the existential problem and they are extremely stressful in this situation, Swami Vivekananda's strength courage. This kind of teachings are extremely important to change their self-image. This is the first point I would say. The second point, the second area where we can work is this. Acha, I cannot down the screen. How can I? The screen is not going up actually. I cannot bring it down. How can I do that? I don't know. Anyway.
Adres, can you suggest?
Maharaj, you click on a cell, then scroll the mouse.
You can scroll it down.
What is that? Can you please?
You click on a cell.
Right.
I go right.
Yeah, go to
Yeah, this is the bar. Side scrolling bar is not working. Can anybody suggest what can I do?
You may stop sharing and then once again share it. Perhaps it will solve.
Okay.
The Indian way.
Okay, stop sharing. And then I can share again. Select it, tab, share window. Okay. Okay, I got it. What I shall do actually, just give me 1 minute. What I shall do actually, I shall scroll in this way, and then I shall share the screen again. Okay. Yes. Now it will work. Yes, it will work now. Okay. Okay. So the second point is that the first point is based on Swamiji's teachings, the potential divinity of man. And by that, we can try to change the self-image of a person, which is tainted by existential problem and with full of stress, so we can change the self-image. This is number one, the strength, love, courage with all this, which is coming out from the one principle of Atman. Second, how it will come, I shall explain afterwards if I get time. The second point is churches. The churches, they fail to face the modern scientific development. You know, after the AI, the whole social structure, not only the economic structure, but the whole social structure, the whole social dynamics has been going to experience a paradigm shift. So that's why this is very important, and churches are unable to face the scientific development. They cannot keep their pace with the development of science. They cannot, in other words, they are unable to reply the questions that come out from the scientific development. They are completely unable to answer those questions because the Christian theology are based mainly on belief, no concrete rationality. I am not belittling the Christian theology, but I would like to say that the priests in the churches are unable to reply the scientific questions. There are plenty of very good ingredients in Christianity, but for unknown reason, churches are unable to face the challenges of science. What Vedanta can. And in this way, Swami Vivekananda, including Sri Ramakrishna, said that religion is realization. This is the only one point. Swami Vivekananda said again and again that religion is not belief, religion is realization. Only when there is realization, the real religious life starts. Why the people of the United States, they are not giving too much emphasis in religion? You know, now there is a group, they are called we are spiritual, but we are not religious. So now people are separating the spirituality and religion. That is another aspect. I am not going to that aspect right now. But the United States, especially the abroad, owing to their materialistic prosperity, they sacrifice the spiritual prosperity. So that is the point. So that is why religion is realization. This is the answer. And we know that in Raja Yoga, Swami Vivekananda clearly said that religion or the yoga, Raja Yoga especially, is the science. So spirituality is the science. Why spirituality is science? It is because of two reasons. Number one, it is generalized. Science is general, not specific. This is very important point we have to keep in mind. Take the example of gravitational theory. Still, gravitational theory is in some places are there where gravitation is zero. There is no gravitational force. In this world, in this globe, there are few areas, few points where gravitation is zero. No gravitational force. But in most of the places, gravitation is there. So gravitation, the principle of gravitation is not specific, it is general and universal. So Swami Vivekananda said that this realization, each and everybody, if one person got the realization, then everyone in this universe, in this globe, can have that realization experience. And this realization experience is same for everybody. So this is the generalization what Swami Vivekananda said. So if Sri Ramakrishna or Buddha or Swami Vivekananda had the spiritual realization, then each and every one of us can have that spiritual realization. So this is the universal one. This is not specific. So this experience. And the second point is verifiable. Science, any scientific development is, we can verify that. Similarly, the religious, the spiritual experience is verifiable. Sri Ramakrishna said, please remember the first meeting of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, where Sri Ramakrishna told Swami Vivekananda that I can see God. Have you seen God? Yes, I have seen God, and I have seen more clearly than I can see you right now. So this was the answer Sri Ramakrishna gave. So that is the verifiability. So spiritual experience can be verified, just like a scientific experiment, number one. And number two, it is not specific, it is universal. Spiritual experience is universal and general. So these are the 2 points you can find in Raja Yoga. In the first chapter, the introduction of Raja Yoga, Swami Vivekananda clearly said that this is the that is why Raja Yoga is the science. Spirituality is science. Just like science can be verified, and science is universal, general principle. So these are the 2 points where Swami Vivekananda brought yoga or Raja Yoga or spirituality or spiritual experience on the same table where science exists. So that is the second point. Churches cannot give this reply that yes, our spirituality is verifiable and the same experience we can have. It is general. Church says that only Christian will get the liberation. They will only go to the heaven, not the non-Christians. So it is not general, not universal. The third point I would like to share before you is the vacuum in moral philosophy. We know that Christianity or any other religion, all religions of the world, they emphasize on the morality, moral philosophy, ethics and morality. But again, ethics and morality are not universal. In Raja Yoga, Swami Vivekananda, in the last part of the Raja Yoga, after explaining Samadhi, Swami Vivekananda raised this question: why should we be moral? Why should we serve others? Bible says, serve the neighbors, serve thy neighbors as I serve you. Love thy neighbors as I love you. Swami Vivekananda asked this question: why should we love others? What is the reason? Why should we be moral? If I can help myself, why should I be moral? Swami Vivekananda raised this question. So the morality, everywhere you saw, why should we be moral? Because such and such, Mr. X, Mr. Y says this. That is why Swami Vivekananda asked this question: why should we be moral? And Swami Vivekananda replied, the general answer, universal. Always please remember, Swami Vivekananda gave emphasis on this, that everything should be universal, not for the limited people, for limited place, for the caste, creed, color, and region. Spirituality must not arrest in a limited place. It must be universal. That is why in San Francisco, he delivered this lecture. Is Vedanta a future religion? He asked this question. That was the title of the lecture. Is Vedanta the future religion? Because it is universal. Universal religion. Swami Vivekananda brought this concept. Universal. Can Vedanta the universal religion? Yes, it is. And how? Why? The concept of Atman, the concept of realization, the concept of spirituality. This is the basis, the potential divinity of self. That is the basis. So, morality also. comes out from that, because purity, the nature of our self is eternally pure, self-effulgent. Our consciousness, our Atman, doesn't depend on anything. So it is self-dependent, self-effulgent. That is the basis. From that basis comes the morality. We are moral. Why do we serve others? Because it is the nature of our self. Swami Vivekananda said that which obstructs us from the expression of ourself, that is immoral. If ourself is not expressing, manifesting, that is immoral. Every work, what we do, can manifest our potential divinity. It expresses our potential divinity. What we are thinking, what we are doing, what we are saying, everything is expressing our potential divinity. We have to feel that. We have to connect that. If we are unable to connect this, that is immoral. That is unethical. So that is the point Swami Vivekananda delivered here. So the morality based on our Atman, it is universal. There is no duality in the moral aspect. If there is good, again, in inspired talks, Swami Vivekananda said, if we try to stick on good, there must be bad. If there is happiness, there is sadness. If there is evil, then there is good. So we have to go beyond this duality. And what is that? The right and wrong, good and bad, we have to go beyond that. And that is the expression of our potential divinity. So the morality comes from the expression of our potential divinity. If we are unable to connect this, if we do not feel that in everyday life, every moment, we are expressing through every work, we are expressing our potential divinity. If we are unable to understand that, that is immoral. That work is immoral. That is the universal morality. Because everybody, we are conscious. We have Atman. We have spirit within us. So this is the basis of morality. Swami Vivekananda explained. So this point is very important. We know Christianity emphasizes on morality, but unfortunately, the social system is here in this way. Vivekananda said this country is Birochon's country. You know the story of Birochona. So they are always concentrate on their body. They think that body is anything and everything. So that's why they are, in Bengali it is said, na, Deho Sarvosya. All in all is the body only. So their mind is like that, attached to the body. So, and they are talking about the morality. Church is talking about morality, but people are attached with the body only. So it is very difficult. This is the imbalance. So morality, in this way we can work. Swami Vivekananda's principle is very important. The third point is the vacuum in moral philosophy. I said that Then the changing theological perspective. The theological perspective is changing. If you go to the church, you can find the church theology is changing a lot. There are two types. The new concept is emerging in the church philosophy, and you can find they clearly distinguish two types of churches: liturgical churches and the evangelical churches. The liturgical churches are the old tradition, and evangelical churches are the new tradition. So they are bringing new type of concept like liberation theology, the concept of new spirit in Christianity, and they are trying to show that the inner spirit is divine. It is completely opposite of the traditional Christianity and the Bible, but still the Holy Ghost, there are Trinity in Christianity: the God, the Son of God, and the Holy Ghost. So the Holy Ghost, they are now changing this Holy Spirit. They don't say Holy Ghost, they said Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit, they are little bit turning the Holy Spirit and explaining it in a different way. Now they are saying this, the eternal sin, actually they are trying to eliminate, and now they are saying that we are the divine, our spirit are the divine, and we can experience divinity within. It is completely opposite concept from the traditional Christianity. So this kind of changing theological perspective, Vedanta is very important, because the theory of Atman, that is the Amritasya Putra, tainted less, pure, completely pure, and you can do your own thing. So we do not have to wait when God blesses us or when the doomsday will come. We do not have to wait for that. God is there, but we can elevate our own spirituality. That is the concept. We can do everything. That is, if I want, I can realize God in this life itself. So that is the concept. They like it very much. The self-confidence, this courage, the strength, that is what freedom, that is what they want. But unfortunately, their religion cannot give this kind of scope in that religion. So slowly their theology is changing, and in this aspect, Vedanta is very important, what I felt. So this is the next point. The last point, I would say, I think 5 points I have mentioned. The first one is existential problem. The second one is the church fails to face the science. The third is the vacuum in moral philosophy, the ethics and morality. The fourth one is the changing perspective of theology. And the last one is the common ground. You can find, there was very famous Indologist. She wrote number of books. She is the professor of Harvard. She was, actually she retired now. Her name is Diana Eck. If you can Google, you can find it. Professor Diana L. Eck. So for a long time, she had been the professor of religious school in Harvard. So she actually brought a concept that she said that I have been teaching in the religious school of Harvard for a long time, but I see nowadays in the present age that the dynamics of my class is changing. The demography of my class is changing. At that time, there was maximum Americans, But now, lots of Chinese, lots of Indians. So the demography of the class is changing. Now my question is, what should be the common ground? It is very difficult to teach little bit of Christianity, little bit of Hinduism, little bit of Confucianism and other religion. It is very difficult. Even Sikhism, it is very difficult to teach like this. There must be a common ground which everybody can accept. What should be the common ground? And what she did actually, she put it at that time, Obama was the president. So she put it to the Obama, and Obama granted some money, and she gave those money to different top schools like Stanford, obviously the private schools like Stanford, Harvard, and all these schools. And she told them that you make some kind of brainstorming so that you can find some common ground. And actually, I was invited in the Stanford to deliver talk about this common ground, and other religious leaders was also there. So, in other words, what is this common ground that Swami Vivekananda said? Can we find a common ground between Hindu, American, Chinese, Vietnamese, and other people from other countries? Can we find, can there be a universal religion? In other words, the common ground is the universal religion, is the universal truth, which we all can accept. Is it possible that any belief we can accept, everybody can accept? Is there anything? Swami Vivekananda says yes. What is that? That is again the principle of Atman, the consciousness. We all have the same consciousness, and we can realize that consciousness. So that is the common basis. That must be the common ground. So Vedantic principle is the only common ground. Nothing else. Belief, rituals cannot be the common ground of everybody. Only the consciousness is the common ground. Even in blood, we can see the color of blood is red, but the ingredients, one is A, one is B, one is O, B plus, B minus, A plus, O minus, different kind of blood structures, blood components. But the consciousness and the ultimate experience is one for everybody. It is not that after experience, after realization, you will have one and I will have one. We will have the same experience, the Advaita Anubhuti, Aparaksha Anubhuti. Everybody, we will have the same kind of experience. That is the universality. That is the general common ground. On that ground, we are Atman, and the spirit and the consciousness is uniform, homogeneous. So that is the common, that must be the common ground. We cannot find any other common ground. So here, Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic principle is very important, what I felt. So these are the 5 points I found that is very important in this country to penetrate with Swami Vivekananda's teachings. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. I don't know whether the admin can allow us for a few questions.
Questions may be allowed, no problem, Maharaj. Anyone can put question, but we have had a very excellent, eye-opening speech from Maharaj, our Swami, the Swami Dasgupta will pay vote of thanks, but and now Maharaj has suggested that someone can ask question to Maharaj. Unmute yourself and question if you want to question. Any question?
Any question? Please come
Maharaj.
forward.
Yeah, Maharaj, please. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Maharaj, my question is that what kind of people, those who actually belong to USA, they come to you? And for what kind of queries?
Yeah, I would say the queries is same. They want peace. Everybody question is same, almost same. They want peace. They want happiness because they are disgusted with the church. Actually, some of our devotees, they are very senior devotees, the disciple of Swami Ashokanandaji, the disciple of Swami Prabhuvanandaji. Those people are still alive and they come to our center. So their expression is this: we hate church. They actually hate. They hate churches and all of this. It is because their experience is very bad. They are traumatized by listening to scene, hail. They are traumatized. So it is extremely important, the teachings of Advaita and especially the pure Atman, the teachings of freedom. They are freedom people. So freedom, complete freedom they want. Only Vedanta can give this concept of complete freedom. The strength, they want strength. They are the lover of strength. So Vedantic principle only give this concept of strength. Because you don't have anything to lose. Because you are supported by Atman, which is unperishable. There is no illness, there is nothing else, untainted Atman. If you think I am consciousness, untainted, if we can get, in one place Swami Vivekananda said, if we can get rid of this attachment of body, we will be liberated. That is all. So all hindrance, all obstacles is our attachment with body. That is the main obstacles. So these kind of things they love to listen to.
Okay, thanks a lot, Maharaj. And I'll request others also to come forward with their questions.
So I would say, please try to read what Ranganathanandaji used to say. I can remember that he used to say, because I know he was the founder, one of the founder of this Juva Mahamandal, because I saw Navani Babu very closely, and I saw Ranganathanandaji because I was under Swami Smarananandaji, and Smarananandaji was one of the number of times I heard the how this Juva Mahamandal has been formed. Navani Babu and Smarananandaji was very close to that. When I joined actually in Sadhapit, number of times, and at that time the yearly Juva Mahamandal camp was used to hold in our Shilpa Mandir for a long time, and we used to go there Monday. So, and lot of Swamis actually I know, they have come from Juva Mahamandal.
Now I just want to share one thing. I took permission from Maharaj from the hostel and I joined Mahamandal camp. And Maharaj said one thing that I remember after 27 or 8 years, that you are going to Jiva Mahamandal and you are trying to read Swami Vivekananda. Can you give the answer that why Swamiji said if a fisherman thinks himself as Atman, he will be the best fisherman? Yeah. Now, the question is my mind that I think why did Maharaj say this? And now it is very clear from today's speech also. And any question from anyone? Otherwise, I will request our Swami Das Gupta, one of the senior member of Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal. He is also the vice assistant editor of our monthly organ Vivek Jivan, to pay a vote of thanks to Revered Maharaj. Samita.
Yes, I am audible.
Yes, please. Yes.
Actually, it is beyond my capacity to thank revered.
Please switch on your video so that I can see.
Oh, sorry. Actually, it is beyond my capacity to thank revered Maharaj. I like to thank our beloved brother Jugal because he is the instrumental to arrange such a program. Otherwise, we would have been deprived of such a lucid as well as insightful speech as given by our revered Maharaj. I think the time is very short. What revered Maharaj has wanted to explain requires minimum 2 to 3 hours. But actually, I was amazed. In short, sized the whole problems of the present world as well as the solution as given by Swami Vivekananda. Not only that, it is the ultimate scientific solution for the all problems as we see in the world. Revered Maharaj has very clearly explained to us those points, enumerating first 7, then 5 points. One thing I like to share with you, why I raptly listening to Srimat Swami Prasannatmananda Maharaj. I remind a thesis which was done by a Catholic Christian Padri, Kanaga, Swami Vivekananda, the man without frontiers. He has also opined Swamiji's message is more actual today than ever before. Actually, revered Maharaj has established that point today. Maharaj has cited two problems. One is existential problems. Second is socio-economic problems. We are facing very much existential problem, though Maharaj has reminded us existentialist psychology is not so much significant nowadays. In this connection, I like to mention one of the existentialists who is also known as philosophical anthropologist, Martin Barber. He has also said the essence of man is determined by the fact that he shares in finitude and he shares in infinitude. Outwardly, he is finite, but inwardly, infinity is there. That is Brahman, that is pure consciousness. Even that existentialist, Martin Barber, rather we say philosophical anthropologist, has agreed the Upanishadic doctrine, thou art that, Tattvamasi, is the final solution of all the troubles we are witnessing in the present day world. This oneness, this love, this inner potentiality from which sense of freedom, courage, etc., would come out. That realization only helps us to solve all the problems. And on this philosophy, that is the philosophy of Vedanta, Maharaj very lucidly has established that Swami Vivekananda came from particular to general, then general to universal. The universal message of Vedanta only will answer the basis of morality. Why we should be moral? The answer will come from this Upanishadic doctrine, that is the potentiality of divinity. No more today, I offer my pranams at the holy feet of the Maharaj, and we are really very, very, very grateful that he has agreed to share his own views with us. And we also thank to the listeners who certainly have been struck to the speech from the very beginning to the end. At last, I again offer my pranams to all of you, and with folded hands, I request, I pray our revered Maharaj, please come again. Please enlighten us with your valuable speech and explanation so that we may learn more and more. Pranam Maharaj, Pranam, Shastanga Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar, namaskar. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for kind and patient listening. Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar.
Please come again.
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar.
Pranam Maharaj.
নমস্কার 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 সবাইকে সমষ্টি নমস্কার
Want your blessings. So Adrish.
Yeah, we will conclude here.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining. Please come again whenever we will organize such kind of program for all.
Our weekly study circle continues from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Friday. Brothers can join in this study circle. And this is for male only and in the line of Mahamanda. I will invite everyone who are scattered around. They can join in this study circle. Thank you all.
Okay, good night. Thanks.
Good night, sir.
প্রণাম নেবেন সবাই, সময়টা প্রণাম নেবেন।
Good night, sir.
Good night.